Let's get it with the rundown, man. I didn't have too much to say about the All-Star game because it kind of was what it was. It was All-Star wasn't a weekend, it was a night. So you had the 3-point contest, the skills challenge, all that stuff wrapped up into like 4 or 5 hours for the whole night, which the 3-point contest was fire as usual. You know, Chef Curry, came up with the chip. I watched a little bit of the All-Star game. You checked out the All-Star game a little bit?
Man, I wasn't able to catch the game. I mean, my biggest gripe with the thing was the dunk competition, and it's been like a lot of I don't want to say speculation, but it was like, should they keep it or should they let it go? And I mean, we saw this before. Like it was a period in the late 90s where it sucked. You know what I'm saying? And then like Vince kind of brought it back.
Yeah.
And then because you had right after Vince, you had Jason Richardson and his dunk competition.
Nate Robinson was kind of in there too.
Yeah. And I mean, it's had lulls where it's like it'll be up and then it'll be down. And then like I think the best one, probably like in the last 20 years or so, was the one Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. And the only reason I say that is because like with the Vince one, when Vince did his first dunk, like you kind of knew it was over.
Cause man,
and he had some guys in there, like
that's what I'm saying.
Steve Francis was in there.
T-Mac.
T-Mac was in there, and a lot of people slept on Ricky Davis. Ricky Davis
was in there. Oh yeah,
Ricky Davis actually had some good dunks.
Yeah,
but that was again when Vince did his first one.
Yeah,
like it was like everybody knew, like okay, it was like you was thinking like okay, it's gonna be a good one, and then when he hit that first dunk, it was just like and it was kind of like where everybody else knew it really doesn't matter what I do, like he got this one. So although I think he is still probably one of the most epic dunkers in it, like the whole competition wasn't that good. But when you think about Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, like it legit, especially the last one, like they kept having to do another dunk because they both kept 50, like, and they were doing some things like.
I thought Aaron won that joint.
I think it's arguable the second one he could have won. The first one it was
close. It was close.
But again, like I said, it just depends on what you like. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like he was robbed like he was the other time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one after that. The one after that, where the guy from Miami won, like he legit got robbed. In
Jones, I think his name was something Jones.
And I'm not saying this because I'm a Bulls homer, and Zach LaVine when he won, both of them was on the Bulls. Like I said, it wasn't again, neither one. Like if they would have said Aaron won, like I wouldn't have felt like Zach got robbed. Oh, he out robbed Zach. No, it could have went either way. It was one of those things. Like I think no matter what decision the judges made, it wouldn't have went wrong. But like this one, I can't remember the guy's name. I don't want to mess his name up. But
Cassius Stanley
played for Duke.
Cassius Stanley,
right?
You had
his first, like
that should have been way bigger than what it was.
No, an 8.
He got an 8. I think all 8s are around the board, right?
Who is and some of these got like y'all know better.
Yeah.
Like this is what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was to the point where like other people who weren't judging was like he got robbed. All the analysts and commentators was like he got robbed, and even people who like I would say we know basketball, but we know it from the standpoint of being lifelong fans. Like we didn't play it on the highest level. I mean, we know people, we kick it with people who played it on the highest level.
Yeah.
And even done some coaching and things like that. But like, we knew like there ain't no way that was an 8. And so
he had the boo-boo face.
And that killed his confidence.
It did.
Like,
it really did.
It's like, and so it also kind of goes back to how like the way the referees have been getting criticized, because it's like when I'm not just fighting my opponents, I'm fighting the referees also.
Yeah.
And so like that sucked for him, and I hated that. And
that messed him up all the way, because you saw that once he made that dunk, he just knew he had at least a 46, 47, not about 48. I thought it was close to a 50. Just how easy it looked and what he did. And I was like, I saw his face. He was like, bruh. It was like, bruh. But I think the judges probably were a little biased because he's never played an actual NBA game. He's been in the G League and stuff like that. So I'm thinking it's some type of, but these are players though. So I'm just like, well,
it's
former
not like
players.
He's a guy off the street, right? Yeah, but it's not like he's a guy off the street either. Like
it's crazy.
The G League is like, heck, Jeremy Lin was in the G League, and like, to me, I think after you play so many years in the show, you should, unless you're just like rehabbing an injury or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't think somebody who's been in the league 4 or 5 years should be sent back to the G League. Yeah, because there's other people who have not gotten an opportunity that I think would be better served, you know, in that situation versus somebody like, you kind of know, like somebody like Jeremy Lin, you're not reinventing yourself. Like we know who you are.
That's where Van Fleet came from.
Right. But again, like they didn't know, like, can he, you know, with his height and everything, can he handle, you know, this league? But
that was funny. Like it's tough to do away with it because they're gonna hold out hope. Hopefully Zion gets in 1 year. You know, maybe because if Zion gets in 1 year, maybe Zach LaVine will be like, hey, let me go see if I can beat him.
Hopefully Zion doesn't do the LeBron thing. That's the thing with LeBron is like, you know, he gets a lot of elevation and stuff like that, but to be able to do, it's one thing to just do it and, you know, jump up and your adrenaline and everything's another thing when, like, okay, it's not a fast break. Like, everybody's looking for you to do something to shut the building down. Yeah. And he didn't want that probably, and I'm not gonna lie, it probably would have. Like, if he would have got out there and lost to Jason Richardson or Nate Robinson or somebody like that, like, a lot of that GOAT talk, like, he would have had to not lose any finals to be.
And that was the difference to me because even in that, like, LeBron, he wants to do everything like Jordan. He got his number. He wants to make a Space Jam 2 because of MJ. You know what I'm saying? He wants to get all these numbers, wants to get this GOAT status. But one of the things that Jordan was prominent for was the dunk contest. And I remember in 2010, I think it was the 2010 All-Star Weekend, and Cheryl Miller was in the crowd, interviewed LeBron, and Cheryl put him on the spot. So, will you be entering the dunk contest? And then LeBron was like, I'm saying it right now in Dallas, because it was going to be in Dallas next year. They was like, I'm going to put my name in the hat to be in the 2011 or whatever dunk contest. And everybody, oh, Kenny Smith was on. Oh, he done said it. He done put it down. You know what I'm saying? Then whatever happened next season, like, I declined, you know, maybe to preserve himself for the second half of the season or something like that. I'm just like, you got to be a different dog. Like, Jordan did that joint 3 or 4 times and won it twice. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like,
and then 2 of the times that he didn't win it, it was like argued that like they kind of went with the home favorite. I think Spud Webb won 1 year.
Yeah, but he didn't do it that year.
Who?
When Spud won that John in Dallas, Jordan was out injured that year. He was out.
No, Spud beat Dominique. One of the times Dominique won. I like it, but it was somebody who, it was their hometown. And I want to say Slick, like, I think that was why when he won it in Chicago, that was kind of payback for when Dominique won it, I think in Atlanta or whatever.
Right.
But still, he wasn't afraid to show up and compete.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And like when you look at historically, like the best, like Sean Kemp, like competed in the dunk contest, like Kobe
Skywalker.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, like
Kenny Skywalker.
Yeah, Kenny Skywalker was with the gold rope chain.
But yeah, they should. I wouldn't say kick the dunk contest out. It's just about it has the highest ceiling. Like until if it's actually some competitors in there, the 3-point contest is always going to be better to me.
I think they need to add some incentives to it because like fans want to see it.
Yeah, you talking about like
they
payment?
Need to, like you know when they would give away a car, like nobody want a Kia. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a millionaire. You don't want a Kia if you're a millionaire. A Kia is a good car to have if you have a family. You know what I'm saying? It's a good car to drive back and forth to work. It's not a car you want to go, like you live in that lifestyle. I mean, it's pandemic time, so ain't nobody doing too much. But like, I don't want to show up to the club in the Kia.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not finna go holler at whoever the hot chick is, in the game.
Yeah. Although they wouldn't care, you know what I'm saying? Because they got an NBA athlete in the car with
right, now the woman wouldn't, but you don't want to show up, you know what I'm saying? Park next to a Bentley and your new Kia. Come on, stop it.
Yeah, so that's that. And also I want to give a shout out to my boy Dak. Dak got paid, baby. Dak got paid. Round of applause for Dak. Actually, salute to Dak, man. My boy finally got paid. Truth be told, I'm gonna be honest. I was
it's a little worried.
Not really a little worried. I was slick. You remember those rumors about Russell Wilson and Trey? I was slick, kind of like, dang, I want Russ. You know what I mean? I was like, look, if we can get
Russ cooking in Dallas,
if we can get Russ, I was like, let's do it. But whatever, he's out the equation. That got paid. I think it's $40 million a year. I think the average comes out to be, and also, I mean, it's with the times. Like, I think we actually did a good thing with the cap because he pretty much gets all that up front the first year, so we can actually go out and get some good defensive players. You know what I'm saying, for this year, because he's such under the cap for this season. So I think it's cap friendly, but I also think Jerry was pushed against the wall. He ain't had no choice. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say if Jerry didn't do it, if Jerry didn't pay him, you know what I mean? Like it was gonna be ugly. The backlash and everything else. Like people already think you're a racist anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, well, he already said he's gonna pay Dak on a couple of occasions. He said,
I mean, I wouldn't say Jerry's a racist. I think, like he likes black people that are working for him.
Mm-hmm. I can't argue that. I
mean, but like a lot of white people like black people that work for him. But I digress. Continue.
For sure. You're a billionaire. Okay. You got a lot of people working for you. That's your life. So salute to Dak, man. Super Bowl, hopefully.
I mean, it's one day at a time.
Yeah, one day at a time. I'm not the loony Cowboy fan that says every year we're going to the Super Bowl, but
we know some.
I won't digress and say we not going to make it, but I won't say that we are. I will just say that we have a good chance with Dak as our quarterback. Okay. And also, I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask a question. So you've been vaccinated with the COVID? No? Okay.
They're going to have to pat me down, kicking and screaming.
Oh, man. I've been asked this question. I have some family members that has gotten the first round, some even the second. And, how can I say this? I'm not, I won't say I won't ever take it. Depending on a circumstance, I will consider it. But it's just a no for me. You know what I'm saying? For me and my household, you know what I'm saying, at this particular time, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not putting anybody in the box. I'm not forcing anybody, my wife, whatever, to do it. She pretty much feels the same way. But it's just.
Good job, Mrs. Brown.
It's a lot of unknowns about this.
Well, what I hate is they suppress a lot of the, and this is with anything. It's just like you'll never find a news station that only plays good news.
Sure.
It's always murder and rape and this person robbed this person's going to jail for this, and this restaurant got a bad report and this politician is involved in a scandal. It's never, this firefighter saved 5 people out of it. Because you can't, like the fire department work every day. I know they're kicking in the door and getting somebody to the hospital every day. We know paramedics who are saving lives every day that doesn't make the news. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, because this narrative of like this vaccine is the cure all, whatever, like they're only, just like with COVID, they weren't talking about the people who caught it and recovered. You never caught that, like, 3 people died, but 97 people recovered from it.
Right.
We never heard that. It's, oh my goodness, 3 people. It's an outrage.
Yeah.
They never talked about that. And so, I believe it's Australia has canceled shipments on vaccines because like so many people died like right after receiving it. Is one guy, he used to be on the board of Pfizer in the UK, and he said that it is links with women who could become sterile if they take the vaccine. And what he said is that the pregnancy will happen naturally, but because your body is producing too many antibodies, it'll actually kill the fetus. And so the women will have a miscarriage. So it's like you'll be able to get pregnant, but you'll have a miscarriage. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like they're never showing this stuff to give people an option. And that's all I'm saying. Right. Give people and not to make it spirit, but even the Bible says you can go whichever. I present to you life and death. Choose life. You know what I'm saying? Like even the Bible gives you an option, says, hey, you can do it this way. You decide which way you want to do it, but they're like this way or this way. You pick. You know what I'm saying? But it's like with this whole thing, it's like it's only if you don't do it this way, we're gonna ostracize you. We're gonna cancel you.
Fearmonger you.
Right, fearmonger you. We're gonna call you all types of names and say you're a terrorist. This, that, and the third. Yeah. And I mean, and I've always felt like anytime somebody's pushing so hard for something, like it's always an agenda. Yeah. You know, if somebody is always just like you got a daughter, like, and you know, we was growing up. If every 5 seconds the dude was like, so when you gonna let me get that? When you gonna let me come over? When you gonna let me spend the night? When you coming through? You know, when you can, like, you know that it's an agenda. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody's always, you work, so did you sign that non-disclosure? Did you sign that? Hey, when you get a chance, can you look at that? Can you sign that? It's like, oh, why you keep wanting me to sign, like it's something up? Why you pushing? And so now y'all are constantly pushing this thing.
And it's masking, like if you want to get back to normal life, if you want to go to these basketball games, if you want, like the older people, if you want to see your grandkids again safely, you need to go ahead and get this vaccine so y'all can be like regular, be in community with each other, visit each other. Mm-hmm. I saw an article, I think on Yahoo, that was talking about how they put some mandates on people that have been vaccinated that they can't still go out anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I go certain places with a mask, without a mask, and you know, people are kind of like, dog, like I took the vaccine.
What's the point of taking the vaccine? Right, you still got to do all that.
Right, I took the vaccine, so you telling me I can only be around other people that have been vaccinated, and if you're under 10, then I can be. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of confusion, and just like with the word with spiritual stuff, when there's confusion, that ain't nothing with God in there, dog. Ain't nothing with God in there. So I'm like, look.
And I do, like, the pharmaceutical industry is a business.
$1 billion.
Businesses only make money if they are providing a service.
$1 billion.
Meaning, so if I can get this one time and never have to take it again, how am I making you any money?
Right.
So either at some point we're either going to A, have to pay for this thing, which no, we want everybody to have it, or B, you're going to have some type of side effect, lingering health problems, and it's going to be different for different people depending on whether you're an asthmatic or you got sickle cell or whatever the case may be, you got diabetes. Now you're going to have some compounded health problems, which guess who you got to call? The same people who gave you that vaccine.
And that's my thing. It's not about now. It's like, how are you going to feel 3 or 4 years from now when that's like, I wasn't back in the day in the 20s and 30s with polio and all this stuff, but I've never heard of you taking a vaccine where you got to have 2 doses. 2 doses and 20. Like, I'm just like, dog, like 2 doses. It got to be 21 days apart.
Right.
Got to be in the same. I'm just like, it just don't sound right to me. It's not commuting. I'm not following. You know what I'm saying? And so I asked Keenan. I think I had texted him the other day to see how he was doing. He texted me like, asked, did I get the vaccination or something like that? And I told him like, nah. He was just like, he texted back like, are you afraid? You know, basically why you didn't get it. I was just like, nah, I'm not afraid. I'm just like you said, I choose not to. You know what I'm saying? And he should be okay with that. Whoever, You know what I'm saying? They should be okay if you choose not to do it. Just like I saw on First Take the other day, Stephen A. Was talking about LeBron, because LeBron came out and said that, you know, they asked him was he going to get vaccinated, and he basically said that's a private matter. It's between me and my family.
So basically,
yeah, you know what I'm saying. But Stephen A. was like, basically, as a black man, you know, you talk about all these other issues. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you come out? You know, because us black people, we're being more affected with COVID than everybody else. Why don't you come out and basically say that you're going to take it to, you know, inspire somebody else to basically take it. And so, because he was like, he felt the same way. And he actually just put a picture out the other day, Stephen A., with him taking his first dose. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, basically, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Why don't you know?
I mean, and you know what? I'm not going to lie, though. Like, they use, I mean, again, we have to, like, stay woke. Like, for years, the government denied the existence of the mafia. And guess what? We found out, what is that old Eminem commercial? They do exist.
Right.
Oh, no, we didn't have anything to do with Kennedy's assassination. And then we find out, like you talked about the other week, Malcolm X, we find out Dr. Martin Luther King, oh, no, we didn't have anything. And we find out Iran-Contra, crack in the hood. They got a whole TV show, Snowfall, and like the real Rick Ross, who says like, no, I was working with the government. The government was how I was getting the cocaine.
Yeah.
Like the Tuskegee experiments. Like, are we that, have our minds gotten that far removed that we forget?
But this is 2021, Shay. It's 2021. Like, it's...
And they didn't have anything. They didn't know anything about 9/11. But then we find out.
Yeah.
And what's the guy's name? He went over, he basically ran, but he told about some stuff that the government was doing. And he went overseas, but it was like a big Snowden. Is that who it was?
I'm not familiar.
But he basically said the government was doing a bunch of stuff, and then like he had to flee because it's like, my life is in danger because I gave out this information. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The guy who wrote Behold the Pale Horse, William Cooper, who used to work with, he was a Navy officer, worked with the government. And he actually found some documents talking about the Kennedy assassination. At that point, he left. You know, he resigned, and then he just began doing speaking engagements and writing and the whole nine. But he even said, like, they're going to kill me one day. He said, don't be, he wrote this in 1989. Wow. It was 2001 before he got killed, but it was like 2 off-duty police officers who climbed his gated property. Like, why are you on this property? And they said, oh, well, we had to fire on him because he had a gun. You're on private property where he says trespassers will be shot.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so this same, and again, I'm not an activist. I'm not trying to start, do what you do.
These are all facts.
I'm just saying we cannot argue with these facts. And so this same person who's been corrupt and who's been poisoned and who's been hurting for years telling me now, oh, it's okay. No, I love you. I got y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't.
And also, I just, like I said,
can't do it.
Don't want to say conspiracy theorists, but I remember seeing good old Joe, President Joe Biden on TV getting his vaccination. And I'm like, I know he didn't have health problems. I know he's older, up in age. I'm just like, what are they really putting in his arm? I don't,
in his 70s.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because anytime you get a vaccine, any vaccine contains that which you're trying to fight. So you want me, who I don't have COVID, you want me to inject COVID within myself.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had a flu vaccine.
Yeah.
I've never had the flu.
Right. I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I can't ever get it, but I'm just saying.
Right.
But I know, off the top of my head, I can think of 10 people that I know right after they got the flu vaccine, they end up getting sick.
Yeah. That's what usually happens.
No, it wasn't fatal, but still.
Right.
And you down for 3 days, a week, 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be down, period.
Yeah. And that's my thing. Like, me, self, and I think do I really believe that they injected that vaccine into the president of the United States on TV? Like, they presented it as he got his first dose, but I'm like, I don't think that's, but I digress. I ain't whatever with that. I want to segue now into the House approved the new $1.9 trillion COVID relief through the House. So everybody pretty much, most Americans will get $1,400 stimulus checks.
Man, I want them to approve the student loan relief. Yeah. How about that?
And I just have a couple
so that credit score can jump.
Thoughts about that. Yeah.
800.
I heard that's going to come, but I heard it's not going to be over a certain amount though. 30, 50,000. They're not going to relieve that.
If they give me 15, I'd be good.
I think you're going to be in that number. I think you're going to be in that number. So
because I got the email like, look, I'm getting all these emails about credit cards and stuff like that. I ain't getting them, but it's like, oh, yeah. They're like, since you have such a good payment history.
Wow,
baby, knock them debts down.
So with the stimulus check, which is cool, all I ask, well, not even ask, just encourage people to, if you get those checks, use them wisely, use your money properly. If you got a business idea you've had, you know what I'm saying, maybe put a little to the side to actually, start that.
Don't give your money to the scrippers.
Yeah, not the scrippers.
Unless
man.
You got money to give
not
to
if
the
you,
scrippers.
Yeah. Unless you in that bracket. Unless you in that
scrippers
bracket.
Got to eat too.
And so, but the thing is, there it's only with that $1.9 trillion relief, less than 10% of that is going to actually COVID relief. Okay. Also, I looked into it. I saw that around $350 billion is going to bail out the local government from years of mismanagement and just corruption over the years.
So they need to pass that every year then, because like it's been like we ain't got to go all the way back. Let's just deal with the last 30 years. It's been years of mismanagement,
right? But that's where our tax dollars are going mostly. So what is masked in a $1.9 trillion COVID relief is really a bailout for a lot of local governments and stuff like that. So just like I said, just another, what he was alluding to, like
smoke and mirrors.
You really, especially this liberal government that we're currently under with this Biden administration, it's tough to believe what they say or believe what they put out, the fillers that they put out.
It's like it's almost like, and we neither one of us grew up in a single parent home, but it's like, but we know people like this.
Yep.
It's like somebody acting like they're interested in the child, like I care about your future, but you really just want to get in the house so you can knock the mom off, so you can molest the sister, so you can lay up, while she work or whatever, get her income tax check money or whatever. But I'm so invested in your future, young man, and you just got such potential, but you really screwing me back here.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, we're gonna give you this $1,400, but you taking $350 billion. You bailing out corporations.
And them taxes gonna go
bailing
up.
Out. You see what I'm saying?
And them taxes gonna go up.
Exactly. And not only that though, like we don't even think, man, and I pay my taxes, so whatever. But
for sure,
I was having a conversation with my dad about it. I'm like, dude, so when I get paid, before I see anything, you already done taken $200, $300, $400, $500 out of my check for taxes. Before I see any of it, it's not like I get to see like, oh snap, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh shoot, like I got, you know what I'm saying? Right. And then it's like, oh, you got to give me this. That'd be different. That's like a bill. Yeah. It's like, no, before I touch it, you done already reached in like, oh, let me get that. That's like somebody passing you a plate of food and somebody like, oh, let me get some of them greens and let me eat some of the mashed potatoes and let me cut a piece of that steak off first. Before you even get to eat it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so then when you go buy something, when you go purchase stuff in stores and it says $2, it's not $2. If you walk in there with two $1 bills or whatever, like you gonna be shocked. Cause it's some taxes on that.
Yeah.
Then when you get gas, like they tax you for the gas. Like, go get your oil changed. It's an oil tax.
Oh yeah, I know that for sure.
Everything you do, it's a tax, and then to add insult to injury, after they've taken your money out your check, after you take everything you purchase, you get taxed. You put gas in your car, you get service done in your car.
And gas is going
wheel
up.
taxes, tire to like. Mm-hmm. You can't get no service done if you take it to a dealership or a shop without being taxed for it. You do better going to a shade tree because you can get anything you need done for a pack of Newports in a what's my junk? Colt 45. Everything you need to get done.
Right.
At the end of the year, you got to file for what? I've been paying you the whole year. Mm-hmm. Like think about this. It's 52 weeks in a year. Most people get paid either 1st and 15th or bi-weekly, which means, and then we got to remember that 2 times out the year, you get paid 3 times within the month because of the way the days roll and everything. So you get 28 checks a year. Everybody, you get about 28 checks a year unless you get paid every week. Mm-hmm. You get 28 checks a year. So for 28 checks, I've been paying you before I touch my money. I've been paying you every time I purchase something. And then come the beginning of the new year, I got to file. And depending on how much money I made, after I've been paying you the whole year, I might have to pay you some more.
Right.
And so you say, I'm giving you this, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to take my $1,400.
You're going to take it.
But you act like you're doing me a favor and you're taking $350 billion and bailing out people who have been just as corrupt as you are.
Yep. If not even more. Like the main state, and we got to keep on moving on, that's is going to benefit from this is the governor of New York, Cuomo, whatever it is. And so they're bailing out Cuomo. They're bailing out New York big time. So like I said, man, people just do your research. Do your research. Not telling you, I'm telling you how I'm handling my business without.
We just giving you the information. Do what you want to do.
Right. Do what you want to do with it. And I'm not mad at you if you got the vaccine and that's what you decided to do, you in your house. Don't be mad because us in our households, we decide not to for whatever reason. So I'm not saying I won't ever consider it or be on it. I'm just saying is no. Right now. So, it is what it is. So, this time, let's go ahead and get into the. Hold on, we gotta talk about your cousin for a minute. You said he said I'm sitting beside royalty over here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This guy said he is related to Madam Meghan. What's her last name? I don't know her last name.
Duchess of Sussex.
Yeah, Prince Harry's wife.
So again, now keep this in mind. This is not the way Black people say when somebody say this is your cousin. Like she is legit. Through her mom. Her mom is a Raglan. You know what I'm saying? So
we can Google it?
You can Google it.
Google it.
It's Googleable. Doria Raglan.
Google it.
It's her mom's name. She is a Raglan. And if you know, anybody who's anytime people have asked me, you related it, like, we ain't got to go that far back. You know what I'm saying? Like, between 2 generations, like, you'll find, oh, yeah, surely is that such and such nephew or, grandson, like, whatever. But it's not like I can call her and ask her for any favors or anything. It's not like we kick it on the weekends, like we call each other and shoot the bull, but this is verifiable. I have other family members you can call and will vouch and verify that this is the case. And like I said, I had one cousin when she married Prince Harry, like made a post on Facebook and was like, oh, they done messed up now. They done let a Raglan become royalty. So it's legit.
Well, let me give a salute to Meghan then. Salute. All right. Now, for me, this whole story, I went to sleep on the interview. Me and the wife who was watching it, I got the gist of it. To me, it's the same old thing. Just because they're royalty, I guess people believe they should have royalty morals, I guess, as well. Now, for me, I didn't get it because when I look at Meghan, if somebody, let's say, if a family was racist, you would think they would be okay with Meghan because she kind of looks.
She can pass.
She kind of looks like she kind of, she got some little color in her.
She's Rashida Jones-ish.
Yeah, but I'm just
depending on how she's made up, she can pass.
I'm just like, if you're gonna have a problem with somebody, I'm like, you would have a problem with like Lettucey or something. Let's say he married like Lettucey.
I mean, if he had married like Rihanna, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's more darker.
You know
what
I'm saying? Yeah, like and she's not as dark as Lettucey or India.Arie or
right.
Which they're all gorgeous sisters, by the way.
Beautiful black woman.
But yeah, I mean, it is what like I just think that
it's crazy
with her being in Hollywood. I think, and this is no criticism or anything. I think sometimes you can be so used to what you perceive or what you think people's perception of you is that you forget.
Yeah.
Like wait.
You think you out of that world.
You know what I'm saying? And so that was an issue even with her mom and dad. Because he was married to a black woman. Like that was an issue. You know what I'm saying? And so we think, like you said, oh, this is 2021. No, it like stuff hadn't really changed. It's just we can't talk about anything anymore. And this goes into like this is kind of, I don't want to get into the topic too much, but this is why like some of my feelings about the topic. You can't really talk about anything anymore. And so because of that, you have some people who think that because we avoid situations, we avoid confrontation, we avoid stuff that's uncomfortable. When we get presented with something that goes against what our ideology or what we think that the way it is now, it's like a shell shock. Like we just don't know how to react because it's like, I can't believe that I experienced this.
Right.
And it's no, at the end of the day, and I hate to say it, in the eyes of a lot of people, you still a nigger. Yeah. Like,
yep.
I didn't like for what I do at the post office. I don't have to wear a uniform because for the most part, I'm in the truck all the time. But doing where I deliver at, I got tired of walking up with somebody's box or package and I'm dressed however I'm dressed. And I mean, I'm not like, do you know how? Don't get me wrong. Like, it's cool when somebody says you look threatening, but like, I'm just trying to hurry up and get your package out the rain. It's cold.
Right.
And like, I got to defend myself. I'm getting cussed out because you think I'm threatening.
Yeah.
So now I got to wear, like, I started wearing a uniform. And the people that I work with on my side, like, man, you didn't change up on us, ain't it? You a city carrier now, ain't it? Because you wearing a uniform. It's like, no. Y'all just don't understand how I've been, and I'm not even the darkest person. But being a darker skinned black male, I've had to deal with that my whole life. And so now, but when they see that uniform, right. Oh, that's the mailman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, but I have not forgotten the reason why I wear a uniform, because I have not forgotten. Ain't nothing changed. And we talk about, oh, they elected Obama. Nothing changed.
So are you surprised? You're not surprised that the royal family actually feels the way they do, thinking the baby may come out a little darker than usual?
They didn't even give the baby. They didn't even give Archie a title.
Oh, man. So that's what it is on that, man. So that's it for the rundown, y'all.